So I guess the first question is, before we get started in AI, is what is AI besides saying it's artificial intelligence, James?
There are a lot. If you go back into the 1950s, 1960s to a lot of the pioneers, they'll talk about AI in terms of a machine that thinks. They'll talk about it in terms of automation that is capable of altering itself. Some people might say improving itself without human intervention. Okay. You could talk about the Turing test, Turing, not touring as in what you're going to be doing, I'm going to be doing in terms of you're heading towards Greece, I'm heading next week to the UK. But the Turing test, I believe that's Alan Turing, right? The idea of machines that can either simulate thought, emulate thought, or actually engage in independent activity. I see, I don't know what you think, Jason, but I see automation, excuse me, AI as a form of smart automation. I think at the larger
Yep.
circle is automation. Wait, the larger circle is so large it doesn't fit. But I'm sorry, the larger circle is automation, then AI fits in with there all the way to scripting. If you guys know what I'm trying to say, I don't know if
Yeah.
you'd agree with that.
Yeah, I definitely do. When I think about AI, and you're right, the Turing test is the definitive model that people use when they say, is this AI really true artificial intelligence, right?
Right.
And for those who don't know, Alan Turing worked for the British government. There was actually a movie about this back probably 10 years ago with Benedict Cumberbatch playing
Yeah, it's a
Alan
pretty good one.
Turing.
Yeah.
It was a really good movie. And he was a cryptographer, and he was really on the forefront of cracking codes against the
Mhm.
Nazis during World War II. And then he came up with this idea of, if you can make a computer that's smart enough that if you basically put a computer in one room and gave a person a terminal and they started tapping to it, could they tell it was a computer, or was it actually James in the other room typing back to me? And if you
That's
can tell the difference, that
that's
passes the Turing test. And I would say ChatGPT is pretty darn good at that these days. And so is Gemini and some of the other ones. They haven't 100%. You can still tell it's not real, but it is closer than anything we've ever had in the past. Back when I was in college, I was a computer science major for my first degree. And we were trying to do artificial intelligence back then. And it was horrible compared to what we have today because the technology just didn't exist yet. But we got it to chatbots. Those are decent. But to chatbot, once you get to AI, it really is a different level. And then we have this other thing called GPTs, which are these generalized models that can basically create anything. And pretty much everyone here, I'm sure, has touched ChatGPT in the last year and a half. If you haven't, where have you been? Living under a rock? But if you play with that, it can create things for you on the fly. You could say, hey, I want you to write me an email based on this, and it will go out and do that, as opposed to other automation and machine learning things that are usually really good at repetitive tasks. I want you to
of
copy this
course.
file 5,000 times. Or machine learning, I want you to go through these 5,000 files and find the common theme. But with AI, you can actually generate new stuff, right? And that's one of the big differences. And how I see it's different than ML